This is Heroes of Phandalin episode 4, and these people, are the heroes of Phandalin, or they will
Are
be
we,
soon.
bro?
Heroes in quotation.
Listen, I didn't say you were the heroes of Phandalin as if it was a title you're gonna want. This can end any way, but that will be your title. So, moving forward, why don't we get into why we are here right now? After leaving Neverwinter for a quest for a dwarven adventurer, miner, purveyor of fine things and quests, Gundren Rockseeker has sent you on a mission to retrieve his supplies from Neverwinter and cart them all the way to Phandalin. Following the high road out of Neverwinter, you were ambushed by goblins and overcame that, but discovered that these are the same goblins who must have ambushed Gundren on his way to Phandalin as well, as he did right ahead of you. Finding his horses, you guys followed the tracks the goblins left to their hideout, known as Crag Maw Hideout, discovering that these goblins are from the Crag Maw tribe. You snuck for the most part into their hideout, negotiated the surrender, and that the rest and that half of the faction would leave as long as they returned Sildar, who was Gundren's bodyguard. This is how we're gonna wake up today. After finding Sildar and making your way throughout the rest of the cavern, you found the leader of this Cragmaw tribe within this section, known as Clarg, who left a surprise ambush in his main dwelling within the cave, and that cost the lives of one of your own. Gottheim, the cleric, was killed, and you guys eventually overcame Clarg, recovered the remains of Gottheim, the supplies that were being stolen by the Cragmaw tribe, and now returned to Phandalin. Here in Phandalin, we've gotten to the point where we have heard a few tales, dropped off the supplies you were due to retrieve at Barthen's Provisions. We then made our way to Stonehill Inn. You guys have been paid. You have discovered a few rumors. You located and acquired a map of the region that indicates that there is a ruin or castle to be labeled on a very old map set hundreds of years ago, north of Phandalin. You've heard rumors of orcs. You've heard about the red ruffians within Phandalin who have a bottleneck on the trade and order in this town. And that's kind of where we left off after you left Stonehill Inn after a ridiculous double natural one failure by our bard. And then the chaser of another natural one at this Shrine of Luck, the Shrine of Timora. And we have now kind of discussed where you're planning to push forward your adventure. So, now that all that is out of the way, why don't we begin the Heroes of Phandalin? With you all on the town green, finishing up your discussion of what you plan on doing today in the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So, who would like to go first? First person gets inspiration. Maybe after you get the inspiration, you'll actually use it this time.
No. We're saving that for the real threat.
Yeah, not rolling natural ones at the Shrine of Timora.
Hey, man, it's not like I had a chance. Vondel never had a chance.
You're doomed from the get-go.
Vondel is still staring off into the distance, questioning how come he had been so cursed by the gods. His old war wound on his leg begins to hurt again as we make our way towards the castle to the north.
Okay.
And yeah, no, he is quite concerned that um, the life ahead for him is just going to be one continual punching bag of misery. Whoa.
As he stares off into the distance, I give him a little pat on the shoulder. But when he's not looking, I kind of rub my hand against my clothes, hoping not to catch what gave him that dour expression.
Wipe it off. So, with your discussions at the town green, I guess we're all decided on heading north. You guys have discussed your plans so far. You have a wagon at Barthen's Provisions. I don't recommend bringing it, but you do have that at your aid if you wish to bring it with you. Is there anything in particular you guys want to get done in Phandalin that you wanted to get taken care of before you move? Because the trek to the north in the search for a structure you have not been to can take a fair chunk of time. So if there's anything you want to talk about, anything you want to locate, anything you want to do, let me know right now.
Did Hazin ever finish the map drawing?
Yeah, we'll say yeah. We'll say by the time you guys have gotten here, you guys have a rough idea of the landmarks around Phandalin a couple hundred years ago. None are titled. You just see these, outcroppings of this should be, a work site, or this should be where you should not go in these times.
We're in that grassy area, right?
Yeah, you're in the town green.
All right. Before we leave in performance again.
Okay.
I'm gonna show these people. God damn it.
Okay. So, while you guys are discussing this, we have Hazin bringing out his loot again while people are shuffling across town. You see people headed to the Lion Shield Coster, the blacksmithing area. You see a man in simple clothes making his way in, and as you strum your loot, Hazin, he stops to gander over. Every now and then, the sprinkling of people who are walking around start to teeter over and listen to the bard not perform to his original standards and step it up a notch. No one stops to stay, but you do fill this town area with some life.
I'm good. To the keep we go.
Okay.
If I want something to start being made with by my weapon, how do I do that from the blacksmith? Do I tell them to make a blueprint, or?
So you would have the blueprint on you. You would give them a rough sketch of what you're looking for, the parameters, because it's not just about making the whole construct. They need to know about how small you want certain items to be, like if you have screws and stuff like that, and screws, because that's what they have in medieval fantasy.
And in reality too, just not to our quality.
Right. But you would have to give them an order of the fine things you needed to get done, so that way on your return you could easily just start constructing it yourself. But you could put down, I would say, since you know them and explain enough to them, they're blacksmiths enough, they're not refined to create very intricate designs, but they will say for now, we can talk about what you want to have made later. They are going to start the designs of, me and him talked about something new too.
Okay, because I was going to say, I thought we established last week, he set up already one project for a week in advance.
Yes, he did, but we were talking about some other new stuff too, which we will mention later, because I think he's going to have Alton help him with some of the new designs. But we'll talk about it when we get there. This way we can
Oh
at
God,
least.
he's gonna make a flamethrower. I just know it.
That would be nice. So,
It might be sleep grenades depending on how things go.
and yes, chat, we are making custom weapons. We have a gunslinger. Welcome to the chat. Feel free to stick around and have some fun. Is there anything else aside from the custom weapon order that people want to try? Everyone has rations.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the first thing we bought.
For reference,
Yes, sir.
how many days are we heading up north?
You're drawing a map off a map that was not given a map or legends or scaled properly. So, given your rough estimation of the tree line from Phandalin, the high hills and the occasional like rock formations, it's gonna be about a couple days. Probably like maybe by the end of the day you'll get there, if not sooner. But scouring that region for this structure, it's gonna be quite difficult.
Okay, but this isn't going to be like, hey, we're taking like a week there, a week back, so we need like 20 rations to survive that.
No, it'll be a quick trek to the location of what you hope is the travel area, but you don't know how close in it is. If you know.
Okay. Right.
Oh, so why don't we do that for people who haven't? That's actually a very good idea, Red Vaporeon. Why don't you guys briefly bring up your characters and classes? Because we are in episode 4 and we haven't really done that since episode 1. So if we want to start at, is Snow here?
Snow is not.
No.
No, he's at the hospital or something with his mom.
Understood. No, yeah, we can talk it out real quick. But,
just to let people know, though, we are traveling with a half-elf, half-drow ranger. We're using the Ranger Revised rules for that. So, the good news for us is that it should help with recovering rations, because we could send him hunting.
and traveling.
Hey, he's not here. And yes, he can travel well, as long as he's not actually first.
Yeah.
Because his perception is actually not the highest.
He has a singular focus. He's just laser pointed to one thing and nothing else.
Yeah, the
just draw revenge.
pit trap in front of him.
So who else we have?
Like
we have the Drow Ranger, and if Vandal, you want to continue with yours?
Yeah, speaking of half-elves, we have a man from a foreign land, a half-elven fighter, wields a sword cane rapier and a buckler, walks with a pronounced limp, so you're not going to see a lot of dash actions from him, but moderately well armored, highest actually of the group, because I don't think our new bard is rocking heavy armor or anything like that.
It's all leather. You gotta see the bronze skin underneath the vest.
It's very flashy.
Hazin is our third half elf of the party and the newest member. And as we mentioned, a bronze-skinned half-elf bard.
Yep, from the desert.
So yeah, we have a bard. Hazin, describe your class a little.
Oh, I'm gonna go full on pure bard. So very, very athletic, very dexterous. Mediocre armor class that keeps me safe, but mediocrely. a lot of charisma. You know, I'm gonna be flamboyant. You're gonna get a lot of like flourish on a lot of things. But other than that, traditional bard. Nothing really too crazy yet.
Then we got our gunslinger, Kazuto.
Hello. Yeah, I'm a black gunslinger with a special chain across my neck.
Yes.
You know, makes things turn sideways once it come off. And I'm also from the army, so yeah.
Chat went from positive to question mark. So, Red Vaporeon says he's only played D&D once. He is a ranger / druid. Interesting first choice. We have Kazuto being a gunslinger. He's going to be using a lot of pistols, which is why we're going to have a lot of
The
custom
difference
weapons
between
coming.
a black gunslinger and a regular one is because I am black.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the
he
difference.
And
For
unlike
future reference, I am not bronzed skin. I am white as shit. I just think it works with my aesthetic a lot.
yeah, well,
That's fine. You're playing the
you're,
characters.
you're not the whitest guy in our party
Yes.
at the moment. I think that
That's-
goes to special mention to our next
Yeah.
That's just
Party
that is
member.
my skin tone,
Yes.
figuratively and literally. You
Yeah,
know.
if you guys can get into
And
chat.
according to the Kingdom Come Deliverance developers, that's a pure fantasy. We can't have that.
Yeah.
It's
The
no
Also
rare-
such
can't have a
thing.
worthwhile
rare-
save system because fuck
The
you.
rarest of races, the elusive black
It's a
man.
good thing you
Elusive
don't
black
see
guy.
color. It's a good thing you don't see color red.
I mean, to be fair, when
Get it?
certain things happen with that necklace, you won't be able to see color either.
Speaking
that's
of that,
true.
let's move on to our everybody's favorite warlock.
Please don't tempt him.
Hi, I'm Apollyon. I have a low armor class. Basically just trying to get more, more like ranged spells rather than swords and whatnot. Basically, I'm on this journey because I'm just trying to find some answers about my family, my past, and these people are. I'm cross paths with them, so we are all working together to basically just survive. And right now, we are headed to, I think, a castle, right?
He's
Yes, sir.
he's like a standard folk song, but with more possession.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
less color, because what
Yeah,
are
I'm
you?
very
You're
pale.
double pale.
I'm very pale. I'm super pale. Like, I look dead.
Yeah. You are basically our stand-in for every Cthulhu investigator. By
We
the
are-
end
we
of
are-
that.
We are actually sponsored by Bic, and he is like the living embodiment of just whiteout.
Thank you, Azzy.
Well,
For future reference, we are not sponsored by Bic. Trademark.
time pending. So, with that, let's just jump back into it.
Hey. You went up all through, and you forgot a short fella.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know he's hiding behind people,
No, he's
but
good.
come on.
We're good. We don't need to know anything about that.
minus the fact
just
that
kidding.
he's,
Go ahead.
he's the most beneficial partner.
He's the only one who matters in my book.
I think he's the only one of us that actually invested in healing.
I mean, to be fair, I did in the beginning.
Did you, though? You
I did.
You
Getting
kind
a healing
ran
club,
out ahead.
It's really hard.
getting a
Not
club
the
to the
entire
spine
group.
will kind of like throw a wrench in that plan.
That's damage prevention to the party, though. That's what that plan
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I was worried about you guys.
If I take all the damage, the party doesn't need the healing.
If
Yeah.
you take any damage, the party doesn't get healing.
Yeah.
What is your current HP?
Mine,
Yes.
17.
Mm,
Oh, good. You might survive a blow.
that's respectable.
Actually has more than I do.
I'm using the Artificer 1.6 rules for the revised Artificer. Yeah, Halfling, Potion Master specialty. Brewmaster
Yes.
specialty.
Red,
Good stuff.
you should definitely check out that class, the whatchamacallit, the Potion Master.
Artificer.
Yeah, the Artificer, but the Potion Master is one of my, actually, aside from Bard being my favorite class and Wizard, Potion Master is just so fun. But anyway, we got the Alton $2. I feel like that should just be like a rap personality though. I would subscribe.
No, careful. It's just gonna become, by
Dropping
the end
all
of
those
it,
hot potions.
it's the used potion salesman.
That's fine.
Hey, come on down to Alton $2. We've got potions.
Exactly.
Oh god, they're all poisoned. I'm
Potions,
so sorry.
potions.
Exactly.
Inflatable arm, like
I have a,
outside.
I have a wacky arm inflatable tube work outside advertising.
Oh god.
How did you make him? He drank one of my potions.
Potions.
So let's imagine Phandalin, shall we? You guys have a map in front of you. You can see the town green. You can see the houses. You can see that there's plenty of sun in the day so far. You can smell the
I see Phandalin as a dot on the map. I don't actually see.
We see like the main map.
Thank you. This is why I say communication is key. You guys need to learn this before the dragon, please.
Hey man, we could visualize that central green.
That's fine. I imagine you.
I'm
you
too
very
busy
much
jamming
could.
on that loot, so like
You very
the
much
surroundings matter not to me.
Vondel is staring at you perform well, and he just thinks to himself, I am truly cursed.
Meanwhile, I'm looking at him and I'm like, next time we'll do it better. So like I give him a smile that makes it look like I'm insulting him.
Yeah.
Vondel just rubs his tired eyes and just prepares his pack for travel.
So you guys start to make your way down the town green, towards Stonehill Inn. Wow, seeing coming down this road from the Sleeping Giant, not a gathering, but like a line-ish of about 4 human men, different ages. One with a bald head, simple beard. You see another younger, fuller hair. 4 of them are conversing and talking, moving towards your direction, not in particularly it aimed at you with intent, but as they're talking and see the entourage you guys have here, they all kind of slow down their pace with suspicion, curiosity, and raised eyebrows. They kind of make a line ahead of you, and one speaks up. What's your business here, travelers?
I am sorry, but who is so curious about our travels? We are what you say we are. We are traveling.
Oh, and that's fine indeed. Just want to know who's walking around these parts. Making sure you're paying your dues properly, if you know what I mean. Fresh faces. Looks like you came in safe and sound. Doing a little bit of business?
Am I still playing while he's doing this?
No.
Or did I stop?
No, it's your choice.
It's up to you.
You're just
if you-
jamming as
Alright.
You're just
Okay,
jamming while
so
everyone
still playing, just not super loud, but I am giving him this dirty scowl that he's probably not seeing, but I will jump on him like as soon as things turn wrong.
Okay. Sounds good. They're kind of lined up in front of Stonehill Inn, not particularly blocking your path north, but blocking your path kind of into either the inn or more into Phandalin.
So you're curious about who travels through. You clearly must be the town guard, then.
That's right. We're a regular security law enforcement.
Yes, you really look the part. Well,
Um,
good day to you.
all of them have a reddish dyed leather tightly wrapped around them, their arms, their torsos. Very not the um, not something like a knight or soldiers would wear, but for them all to have fully equipped sets of leather armor. You see that they have short swords, blades, short bows on their backs, slung over. They're well equipped, and as you start to make your way north towards Spartans to like pass by them, um, you find another two traveling down the road, not yet seeing you guys, but walking down your path as as the guy speaks up. Well, before you leave our great town, Phandalin, why don't you just pay the travel tax and then you can be on your way? It seems you've already made it in, but I don't think you've quite warmed up to the rules or the type. We red ruffians and still here for the protection. Look how beautiful the towns are. The glasses not broken, houses are intact, and orcs don't come here. It's a beautiful place. I want to keep it that way.
Vondel he looks back towards the party. What's everyone else doing, guys?
Are we close enough that we all heard that, or is he just
Of
threatening?
course.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's kind of talking to all of you, but only Vondo has spoken up and made the decision to move past this.
We were not told of any traveling fee. Where did this come from?
Well, it's been here for a while. You just haven't run into anyone who likes to be stern and strict, you know? That's what these people need here. They need someone who's gonna make sure they follow the rules, and the rules are put in place to make sure good people like you find your ways to Phandalin. Find out, there's business to be had. So, why don't you just pay, you guys look like a nice fair bunch. I'll even lower it a little bit. I'll give you a group discount. How's 15 gold pieces and you move along?
I'm going to slowly approach the man who's talking, and I'm slowly taking my buckler off my belt as I'm walking up to him.
Okay, two of the four flank him and put hands on blades. He doesn't put his hand out, and they just kind of take him out like about 3 inches and hold their position as you move closer.
I am so sorry. Could you repeat that amount?
Of course. That's 15 gold for the lot. A discounted price. I'm a charitable guy.
Yes, I've heard of your charity. Are you perhaps Glassstaff? Is that the name of your red band leader? Are you he?
At the mention of Glassstaff, there's a little twitch in his eye. Who told you about Glassstaff?
Ah, so you are not him. Then I am sorry, my friend. But it seems to me that, given your reputation in these parts, it does not seem to be worth 15 gold. We shall be on our way, and you will let us pass.
now closer in your peripheral, you see the two that were headed down the path north from Barthen's kind of meet up to this this kind of western scene where think of like a good western where the town is not the town is clear, the roads are empty, but everyone is now looking out their windows. You can hear the wind slowly passing as these last two red guards get to the scene and see the main group of all of you, like maybe 30 feet away from them, and then one of you discussing terms with the other red ruffians, and they kind of pause and like stop as if like they stumbled into something briefly, but then they see the hands on weapons of their compatriots, and they are looking for a cue of some sort, and there's a small calm, brief silence.
Is it daytime or nighttime right now?
This is daytime.
Okay.
Yeah, it's early. It's early-ish morning. We were gonna set out.
Okay. I walk in front. I tell the guy, we're not giving you anything. We're not giving you any gold.
While they're threatening each other, I stopped playing, but I'm still in kind of like faking tuning the loot. You know, I'm still prepared to jump if things need to happen. But I look at the guy who was threatening Vondel, and I'm like, 15 is quite exorbitant for a tax you randomly just seem to impose on us out of nowhere. We'll give you 5.
No, we will give them nothing, and they will let us go. I am so sorry, my friend. Normally, I would be much more pleasant, but I have learned today that I am the avatar of bad luck, and you have run into me. And given your reputation in this town, no one would lift a finger when we gut you in this open street.
Why don't you make an intimidation check with advantage from the aid of your allies? And there is no discount on taxes, Red Vaporeon. Tax season is here. Go to H&R Block, use my name, give me $5 back.
Disclaimer, we're not sponsored by H&R Block.
We are not sponsored by H&R Block, and that will not be cut. So if H&R Block wants to give me some free publicity by suing me, I'll take it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. So, Polyon, you could use a sound to distract them, but seeing as you're in like this big area, this high tension moment, you'd have to be something very specific or to like distract them, like from I don't know what you're trying to.
Are they 100% focused on Vandal right now?
Can anyone hear my stomach growling?
So like their focus is 100% on them, right?
Can anyone hear my stomach growling?
No.
Good. Okay, it's like getting really loud, and I really don't want that to edit that. All right. They're just focused on Vondel, but they are looking at the whole group. You are a group of adventurers who are decently equipped, who have just come into town, where they are basically have a racket going. They want to make sure you are definitely not some group of adventurers hired by the town to just, try to fight them all. So, with a 16, your words kind of drive through this human man with, described before, bald on the top, but then connects from his sidebrows down to a chin-strapped beard. Pretty tight skin, looks around at your group. The mention of Glassstaff, the threat, and the situation kind of resonates into him, sinks deep in, causing a slight sweat down his brow, and he speaks up with a dry voice. We'll let you pass for now. But just remember, I was being nice. And he looks at the other two and his the three flanking him, gives them all a nod. And he turns around and heads down the path towards the sleeping giant. Let's go. They'll regret that one. So the four make their way from Stonehill Inn, from this path towards the sleeping
Before
giant.
we do,
Mm-hmm.
when he turns away, I cast Dissonant Whispers on him.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me what your DC is.
13.
13. That's a strong 13.
I would have wasted a slot.
You cast the spell, and as your magical words start to pass towards him, the two north of you, being that you did this within sight of them before they left, as you said, they immediately see this.
Oh no, as they were walking down.
Right, but you
Like,
guys,
they turned away.
yeah, but you still have the one. the two
No,
to the north
there's
of you.
two groups of guards. Or
You have.
red
Yeah,
referees.
they went with him.
They would
No,
have.
the other two were still
Oh.
approach.
Yeah, they were north. So you had the ones
Then-
at Stonehill here.
Then can I not do that then? Because the whole reason I did it was because they were all turning back.
Right, but it's still a casting of a magical spell. I'll give you a sleight of hand check if you want to try to secretly do it. But the ones to the north would just walk south into your path to walk away. They wouldn't walk back the way they came. So with a 23, however, you do it in a way that they do not notice, and instead of drawing their attention, they continue their trek south past the town master's hall, towards the woodworker. You guys are left in this open in front of the shrine of luck to your own devices, and the red ruffians have moved on for now. So,
Damn, I so wanted to make him look insane. Fuck.
Well, I don't think anyone in the party caught you casting a spell with that kind of sleight of hand.
yes. So, you guys make your way north, a little tighter now, knowing that there is a Y. Y.
Well, now I have to know, Alton, what were you staring at during the entire encounter?
Oh my
You
god.
better speak up now because I despise rolls without asking, and you rolled a natural one, so you're gonna pay for it now.
Oh,
You're falling into holes somehow.
Just looking down the road,
Mm-hmm.
reading a book while trying to walk.
Not once noticed we were getting assaulted by 6
No.
dudes.
Not a clue.
Literally, Alton continues on with no awareness that encounter ever happened whatsoever.
He just walked through the group of guys trying to hold up the party, just right through the middle of them.
Nor does he see the random trade salesman in his periphery with a sign that says free health potions. Act now. So, you guys make your ways north out of Phandalin with your provisions, your equipment, and make a trek north. We'll say that since snow is not here, you will make it to the forest line with very little difficulty. It's a straight path. It does go off the Tribord Trail, however. That'll bring us to the actual map that we are playing on. For those of you who are new to this so far, we are playing the Lost Mine of Phandelver. This is episode 4. Welcome. Our adventurers are headed north in search of Cragmaw Castle. By by around before the sun actually sets, with about maybe 2 hours left of daylight, you guys find yourselves at the forest line of this massive forest, the Neverwinter Wood. You're on the southern tip of it, and you've got about 2 hours of daylight before you're gonna need to camp in, because I do not recommend traveling at night through this forest. But if you wish to try, you may do so. So, what is everyone doing to set up their first encampment in the Neverwinter Wood?
I'm gonna go find water.
Okay. Hazin goes to find water.
I will stick around and make sure that we get the first fire going.
I'm gonna take about 10 minutes to lay out some silver thread for an alarm spell around our camp.
Okay. Mark that use.
It's a ritual.
Mark that ritual.
And I will be right back after another restroom.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Sounds good.
I will
Make sure you find it.
You will what, Apollyon?
I'll stay at camp and help set up, and I'll and now that I have a bedroll, I'll lay that out.
Okay.
We
Sounds
should probably have our Drow Ranger also go hunting for water, so you guys aren't alone and more easily find it.
Mm-hmm. We'll say everyone who has a task they wish to complete can do so with advantage, being that Snow is the survival expert. So if Hazin, if you want to make a survival check with advantage. All right. You find a isolated pond that has a good enclosing around it. You see that this enclosing comes with rocks very sporadically north of it, indicating that further on, as you guys climb a little further north, there might be some much more difficult terrain that won't be an issue while traveling with snow. Hint, while traveling with snow. And you you fill your canteens, your flask, whatever has been already used, I guess, for the day. You replenish. Snow returns eventually a couple, maybe even 3 hours later, with a fine boar for all of you to spend the night cooking and eating with water intact. And I will say, with Snow bringing in a fresh boar, you guys do not have to mark a ration for tonight's rest, and I'll let you guys discuss what you might want to do moving further north as the night winds down and darkness takes the camp.
We're just heading straight north, right?
How
It's night out.
as we approach to the forest, is it basically flat, or did we see distinct areas where the forest rose up on hills or the like? I'm just curious, like, if there's spots in the forest we saw that we might be able to ascend and maybe get a better vantage point from. Wait, we might live in anarchy.
Is it night out right now?
It's getting to evening. I mean, we'll have to set watch.
Yeah. I mean, if if there's no like place that we could take, get a better like advantage point at, I say we just stay out of the forest for now. I can't see inside of it since I'm
Well,
We're kind of stuck in the forest. Like
we're
forest is,
on
in
the
the
forest.
forest?
We're on the forest edge. We don't want to go traipsing through a forest just yet. On darkness. But I'm thinking ahead for like tomorrow. Like, okay, we still have to find a castle, so best way is to do that. Tonight, though, maybe have the human and the our little halfling take first and second watch, and then
I'll take
the night.
watch.
definitely works better.
Well, and then the night itself is given to us of elvish heritage. Because unlike some of our members, we have, well, advantages in the dark.
The bestest of sight.
Some more than others.
Hopefully, the bestest of sight.
Ability to actually see. Kind of. In short distance. Relatively.
Okay, so I'm guessing we're just gonna. All right, I'll take
I've been
watch
talking this whole time and wondering why Patrick's an asshole.
Hey, man. Like,
Spoiler.
with.
Spoiler, you were not. Not to
I
us
know.
anyway.
The whole time I'm like, keep it up, Patrick.
All that fucking time
He
war
keeps
is
asking
gonna
a
come
question
down.
and I'm answering it over and over again, and he's literally like, or find some high ground, and I'm like, this motherfucker. So anyway,
So where'd that high ground?
well, with that perception check, you're gonna have to recall information you never heard. So anyway, I did say not to anyone's knowledge, but with the high ground here, it's not gonna be best suited for a forest this tall and thick. You would be able to see more of the forest, but not, like a castle within. But if you wanted to go through and find some high ground, following the Trebor Trail east would probably give you the best at bet, I guess.
So, to understand then, this forest we're on the edge of, and we're going to be entering likely tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Is this slowly dipping into a valley then?
Yes.
Okay.
It is. It's excessive. This is the Neverwinter Wood. Not only is this a vast forest that this is something you guys would know. Not only is this a vast forest that is very dense, filled of rocky terrain and dangerous creatures, there is a strict no hunting rule here. The Neverwinter Wood is owned by Neverwinter, and they themselves reserve the right to hunt in these woods. However, you are very south and just on the cusp, so it's not like you're gonna be stopped by guards. But there's two reasons. One, because the elves can hunt in these woods, and two, because it is extremely, extremely dangerous. So,
Can drow hunt in these woods?
they can certainly try.
'Cause there is a slight difference. Notice some elf racism coming.
Mm-hmm. But I will say...
Also, I just remembered that each tile is 5 miles, so...
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, no. We can't really see that far in.
Yeah. So, what I will say now is, Apollyon, you're taking first watch. So, as the night progresses, give me a perception check with disadvantage, as you have a campfire around you, but seeing into the tree line across from you and around, you're more exposed than like seeing out.
You said perception?
Yes.
Do you have Devil Sight?
Sorry. I didn't do this.
No, he does not.
Okay.
And with disadvantage, sir. So roll again. All right. Sounds good. That is noted. Next up, who would like to take second watch?
I'll take second watch.
All right. You're still a human, right?
Yes.
All right. Why don't you make me a perception check with disadvantage as well?
Awesome.
You guys hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Okay, because I'm on like one bar over here apparently for my voice chat.
It's all good.
Seemed okay.
Welcome to the chat. Enjoy the stream. So, 14. As the night progresses, Apollyon, you gather nothing. You don't see much. You see the beautiful stars above the beautiful continent as known as Faerun. Your shift goes on progressively without any distractions, as you yourself start to think of so many things that has transpired so far in your life. The voices in your head have rarely picked up, and this is a very nice moment of calm and peace for you.
So much so that he's whipping out the bag of Lays.
Alton, stop mixing potions.
I'm gonna lay back and just I'm just gonna look up at the stars and just remember this moment of no voices.
So, Apollyon, your night, your watch goes over. Then we have Kazuto who comes in. Kazuto, you see, you keep good watch. You make sure there's nothing coming up on you. You are watching the forest line, the tree line. You're checking the road. You can see almost Phandalin from this distance. A very dark, spot, but every now and then you see faint lights from the town being lit up. We then move on to the next watch. Who's up?
Are we in deep night?
Yes, sir.
I'll take it.
Okay. You may make your perception check. Regular, no roll, no disadvantage. So,
Could have been better, but
Hassan, you hear sounds coming from the tree line. Some sort of movement every now and then. Getting closer to the encampment.
can I make a survival check to see if I know what the rustling kind of is? Like if it's a small animal or a larger thing?
That's a little pushing it, but yeah. It is a creature that is bigger than a pig.
I'm not going to take the chance and I'm going to rouse the others.
Okay. You put a hand out to start shaking people awake, and you hear a familiar voice go, "It's just me." Snow wanders out of the tree line, shuffling down with his longbow slung across his back. Just taking the piss. And he gets to his sleeping bag and settles in without much more explanation. We move on to the next watch. Who would like that?
Deeper night. I will take it.
All right. Give me the perception check.
14.
14.
For future reference, is it better if we tell you what we roll?
You could say that.
Okay.
I have in the overlay for YouTube and Twitch. They see your rolls.
But like, is it easier if we tell you?
No, you can if you wish.
Okay.
I just say it out loud in case people would like to watch it in the background, like I do.
Okay.
So for 14, your night goes on, and every so often you hear sounds, movement through the forest. Nothing coming towards your direction. You hear animals. You can smell the fire, what is left of the pig roasted, mostly eaten by now. Still warm to the touch, but your night goes on and nothing occurs. You guys get a full night's long rest, and by the morning you are ready to pick up the pace into Neverwinter Wood to discover the castle. So, why don't we speed this up a little bit? Someone who would like to assist Snow can make a separate survival check with advantage, because he is not only looking himself, but he will be helping you. So whomever has a high enough survival, you guys can talk that out for a moment.
Mine's positive but middling. Kazuto, what's your survival like?
Mine's is a 4.
Yeah, you're higher than me.
Yeah. Definitely me. You guys saw mine, so.
Alton? How are you with survival?
Yeah, I'm Kazuto's way better than me.
You're not negative, are you?
No, I'm not negative. I'm just a 1.
Oh, okay.
If you want me to tell you what the plan is you're looking at, I can do that. But as far as finding it, no, I can't find it.
This is what you get for going to college.
Yeah.
No practicality at all.
Well, Kazuto, you soldier, ranger, marksman, lead the way.
So, do I roll, or will I just go and try to find a way?
I want
Survival
you to make a
with
survival
advantage?
check with advantage.
Got you again.
18. You all kind of take the advice Snow gives you in searching and keeping yourself on good footing. You ignore the difficult terrain as you are moving through dense forest, every now seeing these thick bushes, low ground, high ground, rock formations. The ground softens and dips into these small crevices, being flanked by high ground and trees hanging over, giving perfect shade from the sun. You can smell the nature. You can smell the flowers. You can hear the birds. You can hear the occasional random creature call out that you've never heard from. Not just birds, but creatures and denizens of these woods that sound distant and come out as aggressive at times, as most of the creatures are now waking up to continue their daily routine. Snow takes an aggressive approach. After giving you guys insight on how to survive and move, he takes maybe a sprint forward and searches on his own, trying to cover as much ground as possible, to then return maybe half an hour later, in those half an hour intervals. Kazuto, you kind of pick up on this, pick up on his advice, you pick up on the terrain. Your history as a soldier gives you the perfect experience, and you find this opened area where this cave is probably 60 feet away from this tall tree, but this tree is very. It gives you an idea in your head. It kind of like goes up almost 70 feet up, but in almost a banana formation, almost as if this tree has gone from going straight out of the ground to ever so slightly bending. So it kind of looks like a cane in a way, but it keeps on going. It looks like the perfect tree that you guys could use to climb up and get a good idea of the surrounding landscape. So you find, and I'll give you guys like a rough drawing of what I kind of mean.
Yeah.
If you look under Cragmaw hideout, you guys should see that. The tree kind of looks like, wow, that is the worst. That is the worst. Nope. It's more like it sticks out and then it kind of starts to bend over like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the tree, but about 60 feet away from it, you guys kind of see this cave mouth that opens up with all this into like this rock formation.
How wide is this cave entrance we're looking at?
For quick
Like,
reference,
is
can
it
you all see it?
significant, or is it just a hovel, like 5-foot hole? Yeah, we see it.
Okay, cool. It's not that significant. It looks like a maybe 6 foot tall cave made naturally. The ceiling about 6 feet tall. I mean, like you could snugly go through it as human. Seems natural. Why don't you give me a perception check?
16.
Looking around, the ground is very soft here, which should be a little more rougher. It hasn't rained in a bit, but the canopy kind of has opened up around this tree. There's not another tree for about maybe 100 or so feet, which gives you perfect, which makes it clear like this is a good tree to climb. But looking at the cave itself, you see a little bit of traffic from like animal footsteps around here. The cave itself is too small for like a large creature like a bear or something to get into without being like very like, I mean, it could get in, but doesn't seem like this is the kind of foot traffic a bear would have. It seems a lot more smaller and a lot more like sporadic, small feet prints, but not of a humanoid, of some sort of creatures.
Okay.
I make a nature check to ascertain what kind of creatures they are.
Please.
Oh. Come on.
Don't lag out. Don't lag out.
Nice. Looking around at the tracks, getting a good look in, you notice these are very small, distinct, pretty close to large squirrels or something like that. You take a look and there's ever so often stool droppings, and you ascertain that these creatures are actually really rare. The name kind of escapes me right now, but they are considered these rare squirrel hybrids. They have red or orangey fur. They are not hostile, but they draw themselves towards caves with a lot of moisture, They like to stay secluded, and they usually are in close-knit communities of anywhere from a dozen to maybe even 30. They take time and they scour out, and like a horde, they run out of caves, and then they scour food and they rush back into wherever they dwell.
I think we might be dealing with rodents of unusual size. Yeah, probably. I explained everything you just said to the party too.
Yes, sir. You know they're
And
not
of course-
hostile creatures, but they can be defensive of their home. More flee than to fight, but you know, animals.
Well, they shouldn't.
Doesn't seem anything of worth in that cave.
I say we stay on task.
There's no need to bother then. This tree, though, if someone was to climb it, would they possibly help quicken the search? At least tell us where we shouldn't go?
Yes, sir.
Then I suggest that if someone is able amongst us, they climb. Unfortunately, that should not be me. And I pat the old war wound.
I'm gonna try it.
All right.
Is it acrobatics?
Nope. Just a
Damn.
straight dexterity or athletics checkout, I would allow.
Oh, that's saving throw. Damn it. Want me to do it again?
So, -2.
Yeah, so just -2. So that's a 14. With decent effort, you get up that. It's not a difficult climb. You get a good foot boost. You traverse this sloping tree, very heavy. It seems softer than it should, as if it's getting a lot of water in these parts, which is weird. Why a tree bark would be so soft. It almost kind of like peels off as you touch it and reveals more of the wood. You get to about maybe 40 or so feet off the ground, continue climbing and climbing until you can stand at the top of this tree. You see, looking across, that towards the east over the cave, there isn't a lot of what is it? There isn't much more forest until you head more north. So east probably isn't your best bet. There isn't there isn't structures you see, and it dips. It is the low ground of this of the wood, so you don't see anything like over it. You don't see anything east that would be a structure. You don't see anything that could hide something like that. However, more north and especially west, there are plenty of territory that could hide a castle, or that you would not be able to see from the low ground. You may not be able to see it from here, but it is much more promising that it would be hidden there, north or west. And obviously, you guys came from the south, so it would not be that way.
So I get down from the tree, tell him, specifically what I saw up there. I think north is our best bet.
Well, Hazin, if you say we should go north, then north we shall go.
And then outside of game, I have a question.
Yes.
If I rolled normally, right, that would have been just my what?
Dexterity. He would just hit the dexterity skill.
Yeah, but without the proficiency bonus, right?
Yeah. It would
Yeah,
automatically.
So I have Jack of all trades, so I would get a +1 to that. Is there a way to set that up, or I just have to remember to add the 1?
In the cog, you can hit Jack of all trades. So there is a setting specifically called Jack of all trades that will add half your proficiency to skills you are not proficient in. So if you go into your
I already
character
have it.
sheet
Yeah, I
later,
already have it checked.
yeah, okay, so then it would already do it.
Okay,
You could even
cool.
test it now if you want.
That adds to skills, not your raw ability score checks.
Yes,
Um,
as he said.
Okay.
So, what's everyone doing while he's up in that tree?
Pissing about, I imagine.
Enjoying a bit of hardtack out of one of the rations.
Yeah, nice.
I'll be leaning against the tree, just taking in the sight, listening, just idly, just waiting for Hazin to finish up. And
I'll be
Well, he
writing
got
the
down.
parchment.
You write stuff down. You guys
Just taking
notice
notes.
that Apollyon takes a lot of notes every now and then about things he's seen, or just in general. It's very noticeable now that you've gotten to know him a little more.
Am I still in the tree?
Yeah.
Do I notice him writing the note, or do I
Nope.
not notice him?
You are in a tree.
Yeah.
Alright. So, as time progresses and Hassan returns to relay all that information, Snow returns.
which way did snow come from?
Snow comes...
Sorry to break in.
No, that's fine. Snow comes from the west, and he comes in a little, not out of breath, but like in active mode. You can see him very alert. He comes in, and he like on a log, and out of the bush he comes out. He goes, "West looks promising, but there's a trail that heads north, so maybe we find we find a trail and we follow it north. But it doesn't seem like there's any roads here. But there seems to be a lot of foot traffic, not just beasts. I've seen some humanoid footprints as well. Most of them get muddled, but north, west, those are our best bets."
Is it just footprints, or does it seem like they are bringing items through this forest that may be of some sort of worth?
It's hard to say. They're very muddled here. The ground is broken up, difficult to track, but we at least have some direction.
Anything pointing towards goblins being the kind you found?
Humanoid, so it could be. Can't be too sure though.
Orcs.
I would doubt that. From what we've heard so far, orcs seem to be spotted west of Phandalin. And if they were this far north, there would be a lot more rampaging and a lot more clear signs. Orcs are usually brewing for a war. Less subtle. So,
I still vote. I still vote north. Passages lead to castles, and castles lead to treasure.
Nobody's
Because
gonna
it's a-
walk through this forest without any type of test to complete, so I say north. Follow the footprints.
sounds good. I recommend we head west first and then head north, back to the trail I found. Where is where's Kazuto? You guys
Here.
notice that Kazuto is from Snow's periphery, on the other side of a tree, leaning against it, and you guys see that behind Kazuto, out of Snow's vision, there is a clear rustling of bushes behind him.
Behind me before I get over the tree.
No, you're leaning against a tree looking at the group. They're more at the tree. If you look at my crude drawing, we will say that this circle is most of the group. This X is snow coming from the west. And you're this triangle leaning against a tree. And
Okay.
And there's rustling behind him.
mm-hmm.
I give him a little like come here motion.
Kazuto, how's he? He goes, come here.
I go check the noise.
You don't know that there's a noise. You don't know what's behind you.
He doesn't seem to be listening to me, so I mage hand in front of his face, come here.
You see in front of you a hand of dust just start tracing C-O... What the fuck is that? C-O...
Hassan, what are you doing? Kazuto, what is that sound behind you?
Kazuto, you turn around, and as you turn around and the rustling gets louder and louder, you all see a swarm of 12, 20, 30 of these a little bit bigger than the size of squirrels, these creatures starting to run and go through his legs, run past him, heading towards you like a wave, an army ready to just, siege Normandy. They all have in their mouths either pieces of wood and tree branch and bushes and berries and just an assortment of different things. One has a bird in its mouth and just rushes past all of you and bumps into Kazuto. The one with the bird in its mouth drops it, looks up at Kazuto. The bird scurries and flies away. The creature just shrieks out at Kazuto and then just starts rushing towards all of you. It like water crashes around and through your legs and passes past all of you. All of you get attack of opportunities, by the way, as they try to leave your melee range. But they all start to dash towards the cave entrance and keep scurrying in and through. 30, maybe even 40 of these creatures with dark orange hair, making the sound of almost like rats, but a little bit more adorable.
I'm pulling the buckler.
Okay.
Is there... was there any sort of like small rock or something I could jump on so these things aren't touching my feet?
Nope. They scurry.
Is there anything
on.
above me I can acrobatic towards?
Give me.
You can jump on a tree or
give me
jump
an
on someone
acrobatics
else.
check to get back on that tree.
Fuck it, why not?
13. You jump on the tree and start climbing. They do not pursue and continue off on the soft ground, stamping through with their tiny little feet and going into the cave, out of sight into the darkness. You can hear their scurrying and rodent-like noise carrying through as they disappear further and further into the cave. Out of sight, out of mind, out of trouble.
I'll advance towards the direction that the swarm was running from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go with him.
Prepare yourselves, just in case.
Can I see anything from the tree? Or am I like hanging from like a
perception
branch
check.
or something?
Make a perception check.
Damn.
13. Not bad. You see from the tree a large creature, just the outline, rushing through bushes, headed north. More west from you guys, but headed north.
So he's not on a path that will lead him to us naturally, right?
No, sir.
Okay. So I'm gonna jump down from the tree, I'm gonna tell them specifically that I saw some hulking thing.
Okay. Say it.
There's something very large.
Welcome to the
heading
stream.
off in. I'm still trying to figure out the direction. He's going in a way that will crisscross us if we continue north.
First, welcome to the stream. And yes, they could have animal handling. Yes, they could have gotten pets, but to each their own.
Actually, shit, we do have a pet. What the hell happened to Gottheim?
As you guys remember that you have Gottheim, the wolf that you tamed and/or remastered at Cragmaw Hideout and renamed as Gottheim, your fallen compatriot. You
Gottheim
see him
HD remake.
You see him growling towards the direction, but growling with a rodent in his mouth. A very similar looking like the other ones that passed by you. And he has a live one in his mouth trying to just trying to get out as he is drawn by the sound of this beast rampaging maybe 50 yards away from you guys. It distracts him long enough that he drops the creature from his mouth and it scurries in, and he continues to keep his attention with ears up towards whatever that is. The creature does scurry away, dusting itself off from the wolf drool, and makes it into the cave safely. Thank you, Peter.
Who's a good boy? Yeah, you are. Yes, you.
So, Snow, west then north? Let's avoid this creature out there. We don't want an unnecessary risk.
I'm going to go with that.
It's heading towards the path.
It is?
The path is west, and the creature is heading north while it's already west from us. So it'll pass in front of us. We could give it some time, but I'll keep an eye out for it.
I'd say we wait and follow behind it. Worst comes to worst, we always jump it.
Sounds good. Snow doesn't continue the conversation and just turns and starts his elven sprint through the tree line, more in his element with the sunlight not hampering his ability. You see him moving more agile, more actively, and just dodging through the sunbeams of the forest and staying to the shadows and leading you guys west towards the trail he found.
I turn towards one of the closest next to me. He has a flair for the dramatic, doesn't he?
It's almost a dramatic rendition of the scene in Hot Fuzz when he is chasing the kid who stole the ham. Anyway, there are no fences that you guys have to jump over, however. So,
Kazuto, while you're leading us, if you can give us fair warning for we fall upon that creature. I know Snow is a bit too far ahead.
Should we try to move quietly since there's something that might want a piece of us nearby?
I give a jingle of the scale mail I'm wearing, and I look just sad at the notion that you think that we can like stealth away.
As he jingles, I look towards him and just give him like mage hand thumbs up, just like right next to him.
You can
you guys can
try.
definitely try to make a stealth check if you would like to. Why doesn't the group give me a group stealth check? There we go.
So everyone just
Natural 20 Alton.
Is it regular? Okay.
Regular for
regular
you.
Stealth check. Apollo
You have
as
leather
well.
armor, right? Oh god.
Oh,
We are the
God.
loudest motherfuckers on the face. For some reason, Apollyon is playing a trumpet while Kazuto is banging drums.
You guys dash forward, trying to catch up to Snow running through the forest, as Alton is slowly creep walking, doing the creep. Like no shadow sees him. He creates the shadow. But as he is perfectly stealthing, creeping over twig and branch and brush, everyone is just going right through the bushes.
Crunch,
onto the
man.
crunch,
Bang,
crunch,
nail.
snap.
We are doing it on purpose in order to make sure that Alton stays safe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's easy to be
Perfect.
stealthy when you're hiding behind elephants.
Exactly. Exactly.
I throw my hands up. Look big.
You guys make a dash for about 5, almost 8 minutes, catching up to Snow, who is at this large tree trunk that has been splintered and fallen over ages ago. Not recently at all. He's leaning up against it on this bank. So think of like a slope in a way, that at the top is this tree trunk. It's like almost like a trench in a way. Surrounding you guys is the density of this forest. You see some rock formation, and he kind of puts a finger over his mouth, and does not peek his head over the tree trunk. Leaning against the trench itself, you guys have about like 6 feet before you could look over it. So this is actually really deep. This is pretty deep for you, Alton. But you go unnoticed. No one knows you're there. Not even the creature that did this a long time ago knew about you.
I
However,
look back and I'm like, where's Alton?
stomping through, Hazin stomping through, Apollyon trying to take notes as he's writing, putting his parchment away, dropping his beautiful paper on the ground and picking it back up and rushing forward. You guys make it to Snow, who is just not glaring, but squinting his eyes at how dumb you all seem to be at stealthing. Anyway, with that said,
Let me tell you
guys
stories
make it to
about the ranger that fell in the pit.
the ranger that fell in the pit. To be continued. You guys make it to this tree trunk. What do you do?
And we are pretty deep under, right? It's like a...
Yeah. I can give you another drawing.
Do we hear the creature nearby, or?
Yes, you hear on the other side a frantic crunching, an audible call out, and a tone of a creature that starts high and ends low.
Does anyone know what sound that was?
You guys are like here on this slope, and then you have this tree trunk. This is from the side perspective. I can't do this. Awesome. Oh, I could probably. And there we go. Now it looks,
Oh no.
Yep, now it's gotten worse. It now looks like a mushroom. But anyway, you guys just kind of get the idea. So,
Do any of you recognize that sound?
I do not think so. Kazuto, do you?
I'm not sure.
Snow gives you guys a calming hand to wait. And he takes the first peek over. You guys can hear a sound of a pretty hefty creature stomping up and down, almost like a horse. And you hear the wriggling of something else being either attacked or devoured. There's a dense crunching, a small whimpering until the creature is silenced, and you then hear like hoofs or something impacting the ground, and the creature begins to eat something.
What is it?
Snow comes back down, and he whispers something almost inaudible, but believing you guys heard him.
Mm-hmm.
You could ask him again to repeat it.
I make a motion, pointing to my ear, making an X with my hands.
He whispers again. It's an owlbear. Same one as before. Seems in higher spirits. We should be careful.
I make a motion silently to retreat back to whence we came.
Considering you've tackled this beast before, yeah, Vondo will just silently retreat back with Hazin.
As you guys do that, make me a stealth check.
Shit. I rolled the 3. God damn.
What's the second? Crunch bag, boom.
Oh, Jesus. I can guess what happens next.
Hi, my name is Vondo right here. I am cursed by Timora, the god of luck.
It's 100%. It's straight up just Kazuto trips into you, and you guys like hit a random stack of pots that are just there for some reason.
You guys, I want. This is for the audience. They rolled a 7. No, they rolled an 8. Because those are the previous rolls. They rolled an 8. Then rolled a natural 1. And then rolled another natural 1. And like people do.
Pure 8.
And then people trying to put out the fire were like, oh, I should roll 2. The 18s will not help you.
Oh, no.
As Hazin starts to speak up, no, we should go. We should not tangle with this creature. He backs up and falls on his butt. Him falling on his butt gets Vondo to be like, oh, okay, we should go. And clank clank, he goes over and he stumbles face first over a tree branch into the mud and goes, no! And that audible no, in a little more your dialect, Vondo, I'm sorry, but you rolled a natural 1. I'm gonna take over right now. Because madness ensues as you do that. Kazuto pulls his gun out and fires a shot. Bang!
Wait.
Right into the trees.
Wait.
Getting like immediately on instinct. His PTSD.
Now.
Stop.
That's an expenditure of ammunition.
Where the fuck?
This is what happens when you roll natural 1s. Turns around.
I roll a natural 1 and all of a sudden I'm trying to shoot anything?
Exactly as I said
sounds
before.
about right, actually.
Welcome to
Just a
Dungeons and
misfire.
Dragons. Natural
That's
20,
your reflex.
you are a god. You can slay that dragon. Natural 1, you're a dumbass. As my dog is calling out from the other room. You turn
That's
around.
just Gottheim.
You fire off a
no,
shot.
that's the real thing is Kazuto just backs over Gottheim and falls and causes the dog to just lash out madly.
Exactly.
And then Kazuto fires
You
wildly.
fire the shot, and then Gottheim starts barking out. He can hear the creature on the other side, and you shoot the shot, and he just starts going wild. He starts going crazy. The snow goes, no, and over the tree trunk, the creature soars over these big, dense. Hold on, I'm gonna knock this dog out. 1 second. We will continue this in 30 seconds. Prepare for an owlbear encounter. Owlbear.
Oh my
If your
god.
name starts with A, apparently you're good at stealth.
That is a well-known fact.
It's ridiculous too, because it was just a pure 18. It's like no bonus, no nothing. The frail old man.
Hey man. Hey man. I think my character's older than everyone else here, and
Hopefully,
oh,
hopefully that one is the end of it, and we start getting higher away
don't
from.
worry. Oh, don't worry. It's that damn owlbear. It won't be the last of it because we will be building new characters soon. Run, save yourselves.
It's unspoken, but the curse is real. He has the anti-luck feat where you roll disadvantage on everything.
It's like hardcore mode, you know. It's like game's too easy. I need a challenge.
Anytime I roll other characters, they roll good to at least average luck. I roll with a Vandal character. Oh god. Every time. Now I know I'm causing issues by rolling with scale mail and disadvantage, but
But it wouldn't
Ooh.
even matter. Like it wouldn't even matter if you had like my gear and like we're the silentest dude on Earth. Like
yeah,
it's
no,
the
that's
one.
the first roll. It is the first roll. It was going to happen.
Right.
Exactly.
You guys
Oh god, you're
See-
gonna kill us to this music?
jumping over the tree trunk and turning around to all of you. The creature immediately has you backed up now against the tree trunk. All of you are sporadically like trying to get off the muddy ground as Kazuto has his gun already pointed now. Kazuto, you point your gun towards the creature, but you've already fired your shot. You're gonna have to reload. So, as that happens, the owlbear immediately goes for the first person it sees, Hazin, who was the first to fall and closest to him. He goes out and lashes out with his beak and tries to grab at
My
you.
god.
Prepare for Theater of the Mind battle.
Quick question: does he still have the wound underneath his torso?
Nope, he is fully healed. He's going to take a beak attack at you, Hazin. That's a 9 to hit, so that's not gonna,
Does not.
it's not gonna hit you. He goes to snap at you, and frustrated that he has missed, he goes out and he goes for his claws. You see these talons start to rush towards you. You can see the sharpness. 10 will not hit. Come on, let's go. So you immediately dodge the first one, scurry backwards. The claws come out. It goes to grab at you, and it misses at your face. You can feel a close shave coming towards you. The wind passes past your face. You can see blood all over this owlbear's talons, and you back up into the group. You guys are in close quarters with this beast just wings out, prepared to fight. Who's going first?
Oh, is this not an initiative thing?
Nope.
All right. Well, he clawed at me first, so first off, I'm gonna give Vandal a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
With no bonus.
Okay. Cool.
Just
How big is that inspiration right now?
right now it's just default. It's just
D6.
1d6, I think.
You
Yeah.
gain 1d6.
Okay.
Explain to us how you
And-
inspire him real quick.
As I roll back, I'm like, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
Those words get the blood pumping through you, Vondo.
Okay.
What else?
and
do
then
you
with
do?
my actual action, I'm gonna try Dissonant Whispers.
All right. What is that? A saving throw?
My spell save is 13, and it's a Wisdom save.
All right. Wisdom. That's a dirty 15.
Fuck. Oh, he takes 5 because he takes half.
Double check your skill. Make sure.
Failed save. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage. And wait, no. Oh no, that's saving throw.
It should say or takes something.
Unsuccessful save, target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move.
Okay.
That was the whole point of why I wanted that.
You hum out at the creature and the magic starts to hit its mind. It reels back for a moment and then shakes it off. It takes a little bit of... If it could sweat, it would sweat. But for now, it shakes off the dissonant whispers and rushes forward. It takes another beak attack and misses. Who's up?
I will raise my hand and I will cast Witch Bolt.
Okay. As you stand up, you bring your hand out towards the creature and immediately fire off after shouting out a word that you guys don't even hear the word. You just hear a dark, deep voice come out from Apollyon, and a large purple lightning blast fires towards the creature, and it just goes low to the ground and dives right under it and pushes back on its legs. It dodges the blast and it explodes a nearby tree. The crackling lightning blows half of the tree off. Who's next?
I want to move away from it and shoot my crossbow.
Okay.
And with.
You go to move away from it with your you're further away from everyone else. So you pull your crossbow out, you fire off. It hits it right in the butt. It's a good spot, but it's not going to deal that much damage. Hitting it in the butt makes it jump back a little bit. And does anybody else want to take a stab at this creature?
Vondel, he sits up from the mud.
Mm-hmm.
He slams his sword cane into the ground and he gives it a twist. He rips the rapier from it, leaving the sheath behind.
Nice.
He stands up and runs, well, not runs, but he moves as quickly as he can to lash out at the beast.
All right, go ahead and give me that attack.
17.
Nice. Definitely hits.
For 9.
Nice. You go forward and describe your first strike.
Rapier is in the left hand, a buckler in the right, and it's just an overhead just clip with the tip of the rapier. Just slashes just a tipper like a Marth player in Smash. It lands through, and feeling good about this blow, he's going to go ahead and action surge and strike out again.
Nice.
13.
13 just hits. Nice.
This time, pulling the rapier back, gives another short stab into the beast, and then pulls back and readies himself.
Nice. Each stab pulls out a spurt of blood as it darkens the blade and the creature's fur in tandem. It drips down, and you can now smell this beast. You can smell a very bird-like at first, but it's heavy with this kind of musky smell as the creature's mouth is close enough to you, and you can smell a lot of variety of dead fish, dead creatures, just raw grime now coming from its mouth. But good damage, good turn.
Just as a heads up, he has 2 inspirations, right? He has my bardic and then the one by you in the beginning of the game. Or...
Right, the one from me in the game he can use to re-roll a d20. The one from you.
Why didn't you re-roll the stealth?
Because it's funny.
It's fine. It's a natural one.
Granted, we got another natural one after it, so it wouldn't have made a difference.
Hey, it could have, but it didn't. So. With that, Apollyon, you've now poked it twice. Kazuto, you need to reload your firearm before you can fire. However, while you're thinking of that, the creature is going to make an athletics check to try to rush through you guys and grab Alton by the scruff. It's going to be a 15. I need you, Alton, to make a acrobatics or an athletics check.
What?
Athletics or acrobatics check?
It's
going to be acrobatic. Acrobatics. Hang on.
Yes, sir.
Please do not be caught by this thing.
Nice.
I'm good.
Perfect.
John
the
Woo right
creature
over it.
jumps into all of you. You're now all surrounding it. It kicks some of you to the side, but you're still standing. It goes out to grab Alton, and Alton immediately, you go right through the creature, underneath the creature, and it just, you can feel above you the heavy fur. You can see the ground, the mud caked in as its foot moves around it. You scurry under it, perfectly rolling under it, that you even grab a piece of the owlbear feather and yank it off. You can mark that you now have an owlbear feather.
Puts it in his freaking, like, right behind his ear, just like the swag.
Swag. So you tuck that bad boy away, and you do know owlbear feathers are rare and can be used for a variety of things. So, with that, the creature is now surrounded by all of you. Kazuto, you have not gone yet. Would you like to do something?
Yeah, I would like to bring out my longsword.
Alright, you pull that bad boy out. You gonna make an attack?
Yes, sir.
Alright, give me an attack. Alright.
No. Remember to turn off your
Oh.
archery bonus.
Yeah. So that's even lower. But still. You pull out your longsword, and as you're pulling it out, there's just not enough room. You pull it about halfway, and then it's interrupted by the weight of the creature so close to you. You push the blade back into the hilt, and have to back up a few more steps before you can actually pull out the entire longsword. By the time that happens, you bring it over to slam into the creature's head, and it hits it just on the beak. And that beak is very armored and hardened by now, that it has no effect on the creature's health. While that happens, the creature turns around and is going to make an attack towards Apollyon. It's going to make a claw attack. Damn, come on! That's a 9. That will not hit. So Apollyon, as you start to see these creatures' talons rush towards you, it misses you by maybe a foot. But you can see and hear the cutting of the wind, that these talons, if they were to hit, would do some serious damage. Now, we're at the top of the round again. Everyone's done, I think.
Still needs to go.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
$2.
Well, if everybody's close to it, I'll just shoot the crossbow again.
Oh, I just got your text.
Sorry, I'm actually trying to run around getting ready because I gotta go pick up my wife as soon as we're done.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want, you can.
Oh wait, no, he already did shoot with the crossbow. God damn it.
No, yeah, he did. But
Oh, I thought we were on round 2.
Yeah, no,
I did.
Yeah,
already
we're
shoot.
on round
that's
2
fine.
if you want to go first.
But if if you want to like dip out now, you can just let us know what you want to do, and I can take care of that. That way you can get on with your stuff.
If you want to
Yeah,
run, it's fine. Go save yourself.
I'm gonna shoot with the crossbow for this round, and then if anybody gets hurt next round, I'll use a healing crowd or a cure wound spell.
All right, no problem. Take care of what you gotta do, man.
Yep.
We got this. All right. Alton.
Well, I
pull-
can stay on my phone on the stream. I just can't roll the dice or anything.
Oh, okay. No problem. Well, if you wish, we can definitely do that too. So, Alton, on the other side, starts the round off by pulling out his light crossbow again. He sets another bolt, fastens it, and fires. This one goes a little too high. His hands are shaking. With that, you back up a little bit, and you're now on the south side of the creature, and it is in the middle of all of you. Who would like to go next?
Is it still like right in front of me?
Yes, sir. Also, don't
Alright,
forget
I'm
to
gonna-
mark your first level spell slot used for Witch Bolt.
How do I mark it?
So you only have 2 slots. So you
Yeah, I
could-
have 2. I know I used 1. So.
So you only we know now you only have 1 left.
Okay. With it right in front of me, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it.
All right. It will be at disadvantage if you try it this close to the
It's
creature.
disadvantage. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's
you
right.
could try to step
that's
back,
right.
but it would get an attack of opportunity. Still doable, but just giving you the information.
You could also disengage this round and basically
You know,
130.
Mhm.
You know, I'm gonna hex it.
Okay, nice.
Oh, does Snow get actions in this, or is he off some?
He'll do something.
Okay.
Yeah, Gotheim and Snow are
Yeah.
sort
They'll
of
go-
bystander.
They'll go next. But Hex should Hex. So to clarify for Hex, you target a creature with it, and then you give it disadvantage on an ability check. So what kind of ability
Yeah.
check do you want to give it?
I know. Can I use that? I do it on athletics.
Yeah. That
Ability,
strength.
which
Strength, which is
Strength, yeah.
pretty smart right now.
Okay, so then strength. There you go.
No, so that's perfect actually, because he's gonna try to grab another one of you. So, with that, and now on subsequent turns, when you hit him while Hex is on him, you'll do additional d6 of damage too.
Okay.
So you mutter out your incantation, and you guys see the darkness around this creature. You see its eyes flare purple, and then a wristband around it binds itself to it. The creature is now hexed. While that happens, you see an arrow penetrate into the creature's throat. Snow has gone back about 30 feet by now, and you guys see him off in the distance. Like, how'd he get there? He fires the shot into the beast's throat, and it reels back in pain, doing some damage. Gotheim runs forward and starts clawing at the creature from behind. You hear the wolf growl into a bark, and then a snap like a bear trap. It clamps on to the owlbear's back foot and starts gnawing at it, specifically the right back foot, and starts gnawing at it. Blood starts to very slightly pepper it, but the creature is very substantial. With that done, who's next?
I'm gonna go next. So
Okay.
I'm going to give Kazuto a bardic inspiration. This time, as I'm more composed, it's my traditional gentle humming as I move my hands through the air.
Okay.
And his hands glow like normal rather than the sporadic glowing that Vandal got before.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna take a rapier swipe at him.
Okay. Nice. 15 will definitely hit too. So you hum out your inspiration towards Kazuto. Remove the rapier from its sheath and not slash, but poke through into the beast's torso. You get about maybe 5 inches in, which is pretty husky. Pretty good for this husky creature. You remove the blade and water just starts to pour out. This red blood falls to the ground, and it cries out in pain and is going to make an attack on you. Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
You take 13 points of piercing damage, as after you remove the blade, the creature just like a snapping turtle goes straight for you and gets you right into the shoulder. You hear it crunch bone and crush into your clavicle, and you feel this pain like you've never felt before in your life start to crush in on you as it grabs hold and starts biting into your neck. Mark your 13 points of damage. Who is next? Who is next? Who's next?
Apollon, you went.
Alden went.
I'll go next. Take another swipe at it with the rapier.
Okay.
10 does not hit, so yeah, this time it's another slash, and this just doesn't cut through the leather of the skin, I guess, and that's my turn.
Yes, sir. Do you want to use your bardic inspiration?
Yeah, as he's clutching my spirit, I'm like, inspiration.
It's
You would know it wouldn't hit, so.
no, I know it doesn't hit. I just know that this isn't. No, I'm gonna hold on.
Okay. So, you hold on to the bardic inspiration and you miss this strike for now. But, as everything's going on, the creature having part of Hazin is going to not remove himself from his neck, is actually going to try to hold on. And by hold on, he's going to try to grapple you. It's going to be a strength check with disadvantage, which is a 14.
Ooh, it gets even worse.
So,
Do I even need to roll?
yes. Yeah. With that 14, the creature...
Strength? No. Athletics or acrobatics?
Yeah, he can use that. Acrobatics.
Okay.
Alright.
Fuck me.
Still on 9. The 14 is higher, so biting into your clavicle, you see this Hazin just and start to be lifted by this creature, by the skin, like literally chomping down on him and using him like a chew toy. He picks Hazin up and starts to wriggle him about. He looks at all of you, left, right, and just starts dashing back over the tree trunk. You all get an attack of opportunity as it jumps and flies over the tree trunk into the opening that it was once in, where whatever it was eating was. And everyone has an attack of opportunities as it soars over all of you.
Oh, I only get 3. Oh, that's...
It's okay. You go in and you hit it right in the thigh, not in a good, not in the best spot, but you get some damage in. Who else wants to take an attack?
Kazuto, you've got 1.
Yeah, make an attack, sir.
Yeah, I'll use my longsword again.
Okay, you pull your longsword out as it just tries to soar over. You get an attack of opportunity to Apollyon.
I can
Do I
use
do
it
it,
blaster, right?
I
You
would
didn't even
say,
have a weapon out yet?
I would say you could, Kazuto does. He has a sword.
No, Apollyon.
Oh, he wanted Eldritch Blast.
Did you? Yeah,
Yes.
I'm asking...
Pardon?
I don't know if you can Eldritch Blast.
You cannot in melee, because it's a, that would be a warcaster.
Okay, I can.
You can pull a dagger out, though, to try to stick him if you want.
Well,
Yeah.
technically that's on... Yeah, we'll let it go.
I'll let it go.
No, I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay.
No, stab him. If he's giving you a golden opportunity, stab him. Or punch him, anything.
I look at him. I look at him and just go stab him.
This would be.
Yeah, I missed once with the dagger.
It's okay.
Kazuto, you do have an
Kazuto
opportunity.
can go. I'll go after Kazuto.
It's alright.
Do I roll an advantage?
Not with advantage, no.
But you do have
No, you-
inspiration.
But this is the opportunity attack, and then you have your normal attack, like your turn attack. Oh my God, no!
Okay. Yeah, I will use the inspiration.
No, don't
Nope,
even bother.
nope,
No.
nope. I will remind you all one more time. Dungeons and Dragons. If you roll a 20, that is a crit, which means you can make the impossible possible. It's a success, usually no matter what. If you roll a 1, which is the red thing, it is a natural one. That is an automatic fail, which means the possible becomes impossible. Because you pull your sword over and you go to strike with the creature, and immediately you throw your sword over the creature and it goes soaring over about 15-20 feet away from you. Something's going wrong with you, Kazuto, as you now have a pistol without that you have not reloaded, and now you have thrown your long sword well over the creature and now lost it. Now,
I'll take my attack of opportunity.
so you
Nope.
take your dagger out and you go to stab into his feet, but Kazuto has thrown his sword and it hits you in the hand, and the sword goes flying and your hand just gets blocked by the attack. The owlbear has now jumped over the tree trunk. You guys are south. It jumps over the tree trunk, headed north, into an opening. You guys look over and it's like this maybe 60-foot opening area, a clearing with very little brush, very little trees, in the area. It's kind of like an arena, if you would. And the creature is on this high ground now, bringing and dragging Hazin over. Hazin, you are now being lifted off your feet and dragged in a painful way across this ground as the creature just starts to wriggle you around. What are you gonna do?
Dissonant whispers.
Okay, mark another spell slot.
It's 13 to save.
Mm-hmm.
What do you get?
Let's see. Wisdom?
Yeah.
It's a 16.
Fuck.
Yeah. As you cast out the...
Yeah, it's not
Takes
that nice.
half, though, right?
You still take
Yeah.
half damage.
Hold on.
As the creature is now wriggling around, you start to cast out... Ooh. Is that right?
Alright, it was something at least.
It's 7.
3d6, damn. You 3d6? Jesus.
Yeah,
Um,
that's first level.
as you try to mutter out the incantation, it starts to penetrate the mind of the creature. It takes 7 points of damage as its mind is wrapped with pain. It barely drops you for a moment to think and then snaps back and tries to grab you a second time. Where's that? Yeah. There's a 26 hit.
Yeah.
You take 14 points of piercing damage as the creature drops you for a bit and then grabs you again around the...
I-
Yeah,
dead.
you're not up, are you?
No, I'm dead. Like, actually dead.
No, you're not.
You're not dead outright. Hold on. What is your max HP?
My max is 15. I'm currently at 2.
Yeah, you're fine.
So he did 16, right? Because it's
No,
4.
14.
He did 14. Okay, then I
You're
added
still
that
up.
up.
You're just unconscious.
Calm down. I get the fear. I've killed you once already. I don't mean to kill you again. But as I say that, the beast clamps around your throat and starts to crunch. You all, when you guys finally get over the log and look over, you see Hazi just, his eyes go wide, and then you see this crunch. As the crunch happens, his eyes roll back and he goes limp. The beast immediately starts wriggling him around and tosses him to the side and looks at all of you and in its big puffed out form, this huge owl bear. Think of what a bear looks like with wings, and it screeches out at all of you. And as that voice cries out, you all have to, in a jump decision, figure out what are you gonna do. Haseen is down on the ground unconscious. You have Snow, who pulls out a bow and arrow, immediately takes a shot and fires it towards the creature, and it just hits it in the side. It reels out and goes and screams out at him. What are you all gonna do now?
Kaz, you go first.
Kazuto, what would you like to do? You've thrown your longsword over. You don't know where it is. You have a moment where you could reload your pistol before you take a shot. But it's up to you.
Yes, I would like to reload.
Alright. You grab one of the pellets out from your pouch. You get up the hill over the tree trunk. You load it and you aim the gun towards the creature. Take your shot. Perfect. Go ahead and roll that damage. Nice. You fire off the shot and it hits it right at the top of the head. It skins. You see a small like pink mist as on the left side of its head it fires off, makes contact, and the mist sprays out. The creature backs up and makes another really painful screech out, and it does a good chunk of damage too, hitting it on the side of the head. Who's next?
I'm just gonna keep it simple for us. I'm going down the Discord chat ranking, so we know that everyone gets their turn on the round. I'll go next.
Okay.
Can I get to them? This owl
you're
bear in
about
30 feet?
You're about 15, or let's say you're 20 feet away from the owlbear if
Okay,
you're on the
good.
side of the log.
Then I will get up to it and swing again.
Okay.
And this is where I will use the Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
13 is the AC, yes?
Yes, sir.
Then it hits.
Yes. So
For 8.
nice. You see the Hazin on the ground. You agilely sprint forward. You bring your rapier out. It's already out, but you bring it towards because you're left-handed. as it's reeling out in pain because it was shot on, from your perspective, its left side. I mean, its right side, but it's left head anyway. Don't theater of the mind that.
Shot came in from the left.
Thank you. Shot came in from the left. He reels his head back, leaving his jugular open. You bring your rapier up and impale it about 6 inches into the throat. It coughs for a moment and its eyes widen and go white. You pull the blade out real quick with that same motion, and the beast gets back on the ground and steps on Hassan's dead body. Not doing damage, but backs up and steps on his body. Alton immediately, from the perspective of everyone but Vondo, because he's up in the fray, rushes past Gottheim, who is trying to move forward, with a vial. He comes out with this drought that you've all seen before and starts rushing forward. As that happens, you all see, well, actually, everyone make a perception check. Vondo, do it with disadvantage because the beast is right in front of you, please.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to do.
Awesome. Okay. With that, you all hear in the chaos, in the fray of the creatures stomping around, of everyone frantically trying to get to Hassan, who is just moments ago alive and well, and now just unconscious, bleeding out into the ground. You hear these wings coming for this area. These large, loud, sundering wings. You all kind of look up and see terror. If the owlbear scared you before, everyone, including you, Vondo, sees on the corner from your perspective a giant, large, green dragon soaring through the sky and coming straight for this opening. It rushes down and goes for you, Vondo, until it actually stops in mid-air and grabs with both feet these large talons, grasping over the owlbear, who starts to panic and begins to lift it up. As it does so, the owlbear panically falls to the ground. You, Vondo, might want to back up a little bit.
Do I get a chance?
Give me a dexterity check. Just a check.
Just a check.
Just to
Okay.
check to see if you get an opportunity.
How's that 6 doing?
You do not get an opportunity. As this happens, you pause for a brief moment of hesitation. In that moment, the owlbear goes out to grab at you to keep it in place. There's nothing else to grab at. And with that, that's going to be a claw attack, which will be a 19.
19 hits.
19
I have 19 AC.
19
Yeah.
hits, and that is 14 points of damage as the owlbear claws and grabs at you, tearing at your armor and starting to pull you with it. As the dragon, you all see this dragon of about, hard to explain, these green scales seem to glisten and shimmer, and in certain spots they get really dark. You see on its head almost like a fin, like a shark, what would be like maybe something a serpent-like creature would have. The dragon starts to cry out in a very hungry and audible call, and grabs and starts to pull at the owlbear. It starts to actually speak a little bit in a language none of you except for Apollyon can discern. Apollyon, it is Draconic. And it starts to grab the owlbear and lift it from the ground. And as the owlbear reaches out and grabs you, I need you to make a dexterity or strength saving throw, up to you, Vondo, as the owlbear is trying to grab you, because this dragon has taken the owlbear. And you need...
Sorry, is this a grapple, or am I trying to save against being squeezed to death?
No, this is a grapple.
Okay, yeah, no. Oh,
Still have inspiration. So you can reroll. That is actually the DC. So, with a 16, you scurry out of the talons of the owlbear. Alton has stopped mid-run towards to Hazin, as this dragon is now encompassing the entirety of this clearing. It starts to frantically try to pick up the owlbear, and its defiance pisses the dragon off. It immediately clamps down its large maw onto the owlbear's head, encompassing it. This thing is 3, maybe even 4 times bigger than this creature, and it bites into its head and starts to rip it off. Vondo, as you're scurrying away, blood pours all over your legs, all over your feet as you scurry away, and Alton musters up some courage and continues to run towards Hazin. Hazin, I need you to make me a death saving throw before he gets there.
You
16,
passed.
perfect. You succeed on your first death saving throw. The dragon pulls the owlbear, now 2 different pieces, its head in its mouth and its torso in its body, and starts to chew it and fly away as it chuckles in the air with this very ominous voice that you cannot discern, and starts to fly away. You feel the wings, this whirlwind around you all, as the creature in an instant now starts to go further and further out of sight, out of your peripheral. You all feel the adrenaline, you all feel your hearts pumping, you all see Hazin bleeding out as Alton starts to pour frantically a healing draught in his mouth. If someone can go onto Alton's character sheet and roll me his healing draught, that would be appreciated.
It's just a D8 of healing.
Alright, so I'll
do
roll
it.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you. No, you got it. 2 hit points. You heal just enough to gather some consciousness, but as you wake up, Hazin, you are frantic because your throat has a gaping hole through it. You start to cough up and realize that you are coughing in more blood. Without the healing magic, you would not be alive right now. And with that,
So that puts me at 2, or that puts me at negative 12.
that puts you at 2 hit points.
At 2.
Yeah.
You are at 2 hit
You
points.
drop to 0 unless you're killed outright.
And with that, our encounter is over. And
Well, if we're
dragon,
taking the opportunity, I'm fucking cure woundsing myself.
You frantically panic seeing Alton in front of you. You touch yourself and cast Cure Wounds on you. Do you have a spell slot for Cure Wounds?
I have 1 left.
You have 3? Damn.
I'll say if you have a
Bards.
constitution
We got a
modifier-
full rest after the dissonant whispers. No,
Well, you used 2 on the owlbear.
I used 1. I used 1 in the town,
You did use 2.
and then I used 2 now. Yeah, I have 3.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking. You have 3. Okay. You're saying something, Alton?
If he's got another point of constitution modifier, I can give him another
I
growl.
do not.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Thank you, though.
It's okay though. That was a good.
You could shove 3 potions into Vondel. Vondel's just gonna be near catatonic with.
Yeah.
He is just beside himself with how fucking cursed he is.
So you guys see the battle as you hear in
Healing
the
draught or
distance.
the poison I gave Vondel, I'm not sure.
Well, do you want to put me out of my
No.
misery?
Oh, that luck.
this is the time, but it is not the time.
But seriously though, does Alton give me 3 potions?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
If you're at
For time?
So roll.
Unless you guys want to take a short rest.
Yep.
I mean, I don't want a short rest here.
Yeah.
We gotta move.
Yeah.
That's a goddamn dragon who saw us
As
and
me-
he spoke.
Wait, dragon? What? What?
Let me paint the scene for you guys a little more.
Oh yeah, you are unconscious.
Yeah. As the dragon starts to soar away, Hazin moments later gains consciousness. I want you guys to see this scene from the perspective of the where the tree trunk came in, kind of panning slowly towards you guys, seeing the backs of Kazuto and Apollyon. Apollyon, you could hear what the dragon said. It very aggressively said, "I'll just be taking this one off your hands." And it took the owlbear. As you saw, brutally destroyed it and flew off with chunks of it. You see Kazuto. Kazuto?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, okay, that's right.
He had to go drop a sister off or something.
No problem. I do have that text. I recommend sending me text in Roll20 because I am not seeing any of your guys' stuff. Sorry. I answered your question, Mike. Cool.
Yeah.
I literally just started looking at them right now. So with that though, Kazuto looks stunned. You see the back of him as you guys pan forward towards Vandu, trying to get himself a little further away from this scene. You realize that this is not a safe place at all. And as you're trying to get back up, Alton rushes forward with just a handful of just healing droughts. He has one already made, and then he starts shaking up another, and he starts to pour in the solution and gives you another. And as you're drinking that down, he has the third prepped, and he hands that to you. Hazin, you cast Cure Wounds on yourself, getting yourself up. You are slowly mending the wound, but I will say for now, you have this very difficult time speaking. You look around, the owlbear is gone. You see the scene of confusion and panic. You see Vondel bleeding profusely and covered in tons of blood. Snow looks around the surrounding and starts to create a perimeter. He starts speaking to Gottheim, and they kind of have a very brief understanding, and Gottheim goes to create a perimeter with Snow. And that is where we're going to take our first break. So, now that we're back,
place your bets.
I'm gonna, since everyone, the viewers, and you guys know the scene, I'm gonna dial back, take a sit back, and let you guys RP this out. So
we're all gonna die.
You guys have the floor.
So go back to Dragon. Or actually, no, that would be like, go back to Dragon.
I'll let Apollyon take this one. How do you pray to the luck god again? Oh no. Timora, please help. Please end the curse.
You guys all just lagged out for me. What happened?
I asked you, what did he mean by dragon?
Oh god, you still have a hole in your cheek or whatever.
Oh, while you were unconscious, a dragon came and just took the owlbear. Well, destroyed it, I should say.
Good. Fuck him.
I don't think that's gonna be the last time we see him.
We cannot stay here.
I'm pretty sure the owlbear's not coming back.
I don't.
The dragon. I seen.
The dragon is the best one of us so far.
I think you should take a break from talking.
Can I make a medicine check to see if I can fix my throat at least?
A medicine check would not help with that, but if you wanted to Alton to help you, he could.
I'll hit you with a Cure Light Wounds right in the throat.
Red Vaporeon says, He isn't wrong about the dragon. It did fix the problem.
See, leave it to a Vaporeon to understand.
Who are you speaking to? We have to get out of here.
But
You're hearing things.
Where's that cure wounds about Alton? Someone.
Yeah, let me look up actually. What is this cure wounds? Oh, I can't see it. Cure wounds is. First level. 1d8 plus his spellcasting modifier. I don't know what that is for him. Adam, what is Alton's spellcasting modifier? So 7 to the throat.
Ooh, okay, all right. Thank you, Alton.
Thank him later. He seems to have gone into shock. We have to leave.
That's a good idea.
Dragons are vindictive.
That's a before we go, we should grab Kazuto's sword. It went that way. And I point in the wrong direction.
You point west. Kazuto looks at you begrudgingly for a moment and then heads east and grabs his sword. As that happens, you guys hear, you're kind of on a raised hill in this clearing. You hear north, but a little ways, you hear and the sound seems to be scurrying around your nearby vicinity. Snow is on one knee, has an arrow notched. Gottheim starts to growl. He goes, "We need to get moving. We can't stay here."
Lead on.
So, Alton starts to pack up his alchemical supplies. Vondo, you get yourself ready.
Yeah.
Everyone, now, cool. You're going to get ready. Grab your stuff. You kick some dust, and Snow actually brings you guys closer to the sound, but stealthily. I need everyone to make a stealth check.
Okay, at least it's a 10. That's still not great, but it could be worse.
13. Okay. So, as you guys are rushing forward towards the sounds in a way, he then has you head at an angle down this another like ravine, but this is like a slide. And you guys start to go down this rock slide slowly with the cover of bushes and trees, and you can hear the voices kind of pick up a little more. Some of these creatures are speaking in a dialect you don't understand, but one speaks up in common, but more of a broken common. And you hear, "King Groll's not gonna be too pleased to hear about that. Dragons now in the air. He's gonna want to hear about this. We should probably head back. I haven't found the stragglers yet, but they won't get far." And he just spits on the ground, a big loogie, and you guys can now see by peering through some of the bushes this outline of these creatures. They are humanoid, and there is not just one, but there are a few of these owlbear creatures that looked like Clark in a troop moving.
Bugbear, not owlbear. Please don't get more owlbears.
Oh, did I say owlbear?
Yeah, you
said
did.
owlbear.
Oh, a troop of owlbears now descends on me. No,
It's all Vondel could see.
yeah.
Everything's an owlbear to Vondel at this point.
Technically,
It's all
shouldn't
up to
I
that.
be the one? Shouldn't I be the one with the owlbear PTSD?
I mean, both can share that.
No,
Or
we're both in that now.
Shinobi says, "Pray to your god." As you guys peer in, you see this troop of different goblinoids. You see 3 owlbears with
You're
a
doing it on purpose now.
with a group of 5 goblins making their patrols, and now carrying up with their business, talking every now and then, and moving north east. Northwest. Probably a little bit of ways. You can still hear them talking about stuff. No word from Clark. It's unusual, but maybe he's trying to take over. Make some trouble for the old man. King Grohl won't have that. He needs to make sure he knows who's in charge. They kind of shuffle on and continue. You guys remain undiscovered. And as you guys are resting and breathing in and seeing that the goblin patrol is headed away from you, you see as that happens, Snow slowly creeps forward and tries to keep a tail on them. As he walks away, he goes, "I'll follow them for where they go. You stay here."
That's a good plan. And I kind of slump down.
To be clear, it's 3 bugbears and there's goblins amongst with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
5 goblins.
Mm-hmm. Don't
Yeah,
shoot into your mic, Adam.
We're going to wait. Good luck. I'm not dealing with that. Not right now. Unless Apollyon, do you want to go after him? Or do you want to wait on Snow?
No, I'm gonna wait for Snow to return. Or they keep pushing forward.
Yeah, we'll wait here.
Okay.
Good.
Snow
good
does not
plan.
return for about 20 minutes pass, and he still has not returned.
I look disparagingly at the ground. Like we're gonna have to go after him. aren't we?
Are you able to fight if we have to?
With a plus, and I'm giving him the okay sign, but obviously not to him, to a nearby tree.
It's 30 minutes pass, and Snow has not returned.
It looks like we're gonna have to go after Snow.
Oh, I got a little bit of rest, but I am running on near empty here, so
Yeah.
it's all swords now. I'm out of tricks.
If we wait, I have a feeling that Apollyon might be able to do more of his tricks.
If you like to wait, we can. Just hopefully snow returns within the next hour or so.
It is an
Let's
hour.
continue to wait.
It is an hour until snow returns. Snow returns. Fatigued. As you guys have realized, time has been going by. The day has gotten a little bit darker. It does get even darker with the thick tree line blocking out a majority of the sun. You have a dark gray hue to the environment at the moment, and when snow returns, fatigued, they have a castle, and it looks like an army.
How many?
From my count so far, at least 60. And I could not get inside the castle without being seen. There could be more. They go in, they go out. Different goblin tribes. This seems to be the Cragmaw castle that Sildar was telling us about. Why my accent has gotten much more grizzled, I don't know. But, yeah.
Well, with the state of our group, I don't think it's wise that we take on the castle just yet.
But this is where, last we know, Gundren was taken. So we will have to deal with this at some point sooner than later. His life is at stake. The knowledge he has is at stake.
Well, it looks like we have more than one problem on our hands.
Just send the frickin' owlbear in there. Seems to apparently fucking work. Are there any ways off to the side that maybe we could get through at a later date?
Side entrances to the castle?
Yeah, any sort of thing that looks like what may be a passageway somewhere.
You guys have not seen the castle.
I was talking to Snow specifically.
Oh. Not that I've seen so far. I was mostly counting numbers, getting a lay of the land, the surroundings. It's gonna be difficult, but
Is there anything nearby that we can use to our advantage? Overhanging cliff, maybe like a rock slide, something we could trigger?
well, not really terrain-wise, but the castle itself is old. Not built by these goblins. It's made of stone. It's got overlapping towers, about 7 of them. But it looks like the upper floors have long collapsed, so it might be advantageous for us to find some ways if we could climb over, but we would still be exposed. It's gonna be difficult, but
We should make camp here and rest for now. Some of our members still need time to rest and recover, and hopefully with sound mind they can give thought to this problem.
I agree.
It seems like a very, very
Sound
good.
reasonable? Very good.
Makes sense. All right.
Let me know when my
You cut out when my
my watch
Oh,
when
your watch.
let me know when my watch comes up.
Okay. Snow speaks up again. I recommend we don't make camp here. Should head back south and hit it first thing in the morning. even sooner. We don't want to run into their patrols while we're sleeping.
South leads us to where that dragon landed. Does it not?
No. The dragon took it and went far, far north. Like, far north. You guys encountered it a little more south, but it picked it up where you guys were and then kept going north.
But where was that clearing?
The clearing was south of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
If
we don't
that
have
is
to
what
stay
you
at the
suggest.
clearing, but we need to not be around this castle. It didn't take me long to get to, but to make sure that I was not found or tracked back here, it was worth the investment. So we could even head further north and see what we see and make camp over there. There's some rock formations that I doubt they use. Probably picked clean a long time ago. We could use that.
Do I remember anything on the map that may lead to some sort of spot where we can make camp safely?
Not in
Like another
particularly.
clearing off to the side, somewhere like to the west or something.
Clearings would have been difficult to see from that vantage point, because you're not seeing like from our perspective top down. You guys would have.
Well, I mean on the map that I did.
Oh,
like when I was
no,
staring at the
not at
map.
all. Not at all. A clearing would not. A clearing in the Familiar Forest would not appear at all on the map. You would see lots of things like rivers if they were big enough. You would see, a mountain if it was
Any
big
sort
enough.
of like old town or something that may be.
No.
No.
Not that you could think of or that was on that map. You are in the wilderness here.
We can't venture too far.
Okay. Why doesn't everyone make me a stealth check while you guys try to go through the forest now within the territory of the Cragmaw tribe? As you guys are scurrying along the path, with Snow and Gotheim and Alton being particularly stealthy, Patrick,
And
your wounds,
Kazuto.
though healed, start to give you a little strain, and the armor itself feels a little too taxing on you. You give off not just a brief soft grunt, but you are not paying too much attention to your stealthiness and are hitting every thick glob of mud and just the indents just moving through.
Why is this forest so muddy?
That's
Don't
a
understand. It
very
shouldn't.
interesting question.
Like, I would understand if this was a pure swamp. This is unnatural.
Apollyon.
That tree was very, very wet for too.
Mhm.
Just making conversation.
Mhm.
I'm still a little woozy from the water.
No, that's fine. Apollyon, you guys notice that Apollyon, as he's walking through and you're all trying to be stealthy, I mean, Vondo's not making it easy, but every now and then Apollyon just starts having random conversations with himself and raising his voice very audibly, and then you look over to him, and Apollyon, do you stop when they look at you?
Yes.
Okay. He stops talking to himself and continues on.
What language would you be having your conversations in?
Common as well.
So, like, what kinds of things would you converse about if it's in common and we hear you?
Depends on what the vision is about, who I'm talking to.
It's not a vision. It's just random. It's just random voices in your head going, "We should take it. What's going on? I will be free. 1,000 years ago, yesterday, tomorrow. Red."
conversations I usually have are about something that I don't really know about. But I need to find the Spellforge first, and without that, whatever I need to get will be useless.
Okay, wait a second. First there was the dragon thing, and now you're telling us you are talking to somebody and not just vocalizing some thoughts.
Oh, he didn't tell you. You just hear that.
Oh, didn't he just tell us?
No, that's what he was saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought he physically told us. Like that's what the conversation was.
Yeah, I was just curious, like, for a snippet of what you might be saying, but it's fine.
That's pretty much what they were what he was saying.
1,000 years ago, red. Okay. If you're just mirroring that speech, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just take stock. I look over at the injured and healed Hazin. Look over at Polyon, and I just slowly I silently curse myself that I somehow have been cursed by all the gods in this damnable wet forest, and we continue on. I don't know if we're being followed or not.
Mm-hmm.
So where does snow take us unless we're interrupted?
Snow takes you eventually to a rock wall. There is about a 70-foot high rock wall that has a path almost cut or scarred into it. Much more like if you were thinking of Thermopylae, except much more narrow. Only one person could fit at a time. It's perfect. However, very cramped. As you guys make your way into this maybe 2, maybe even 3 foot wide gap into this rock wall, its natural barriers are gray stone and eventually some dirt caked into it, and you squeeze in one after another into a very small but overhead you do gain a ceiling, so this turns into a very small cave, maybe about 40 feet. It's a 40-foot radius. It's warm, it's dry, it's dark. There is a back to this. There doesn't seem to be any creatures here. And as you guys make your way in, Gottheim gets a spot and starts peeing in the corner. And this will be your new camp for tonight.
Is there any sort of water source here?
No, sir.
Not even like dripping dew from a rock or something?
No. But the ground does still seem a bit soft for a place that has not rained every now and then. In a while, at the very least.
Well, we all still have water, so it should be okay for now.
It's only been a day.
Oh no, I was more worried about cleaning off the horrid torrents of blood and drying and moistening the throat of said coughing blood.
I mean,
that would be
that's
helpful.
not really going to go away.
Anyway, you guys hunkering for a good night's rest. Snow does not think it wise to go hunting this close to the castle, especially after your encounter, but you guys do have plenty of food. Congratulations. And welcome to chat. Let's see. With that, I think we are going to close today's chapter on you all now.
There was one. I have a question.
Sure.
How far away are we from that clearing?
Maybe 2 hours. Pushing a little more. You left your sheath, didn't you?
No, I didn't. But, regardless, an assessment of the group, all the injured, all the bad luck. I'm thinking about the castle and what he's heard about the Force. Given his military experience, in the back of his head, does he think that tactically, do we have a chance?
Make me an intelligence check with advantage.
Um, 17.
Nice. From what you've gathered and not seen of the castle, there are many things that come into consideration. The most important is what your objective is. If your objective is to take the castle or fight or wage a war on it, you will not succeed. However, with how goblins have operated, regardless of their combined effort, they do not have the highest intelligence. They are very prone to deception and trickery. You can easily find a way in, and if your objective is to get Gundren out, that would be the best. That would be the best course. Combat, in order to force yourself in, will not be a survivable encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Your best bet is to go in stealthily, either early enough in the morning or in the dead of night, and to take Gundren and to get him out as quickly and quietly as possible. Otherwise, this is going to be one of the hardest challenges you have ever faced.
As soon as my watch begins and the rest are asleep, I leave the cave and head for the clearing.
Okay. Takes you a couple of hours. But with time and determination, you return to the clearing with bright moon in the sky looking down at this recent battlefield. What would you like to do?
I am praying for a dragon.
You are praying for a dragon.
Yes. That's what I will say for now. He will stay there for a good while, praying that dragon will return. I don't know if that happens or not. I don't know if you want to deal with that tonight or not, but that is how Vandal spends his long rest.
Okay. We will. Go ahead.
I'm gonna write down the conversation you just had in my head in Draconic, in my parchment.
Okay. Are we raiding? I don't know if they are raiding. We'll find out in the next episode, because we will end with Apollyon furiously writing while everyone's sleeping into his parchment in a language none of them can discern. In dragon speech, he writes down the events of the day, and we pan out to a clearing lit with white moonlight and someone praying for a chance encounter with a green dragon. And as for raiding on Twitch, we can do that. But that is where we're gonna end today's session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to catch episodes you missed at YouTube, Mada Zitro. Also check out Terrible Losers on YouTube and Degenerate Live, other channels from the people who are in this group. And if you have any more Twitch questions, we can answer them before we go. And we are going to just, for now, end the YouTube recording here. But we will continue the stream because I found that I enjoy venting and talking about the game for the stream, but I cut it out for the YouTube channel because it just makes more sense. So, yeah, let's continue, guys. Let's have that breakdown. I'm gonna stop the stream in 3, 2, now.